All right, Shalom. We'll start first by giving all praise and glories unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Harakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the house of David, the elect that will receive salvation. Shalom. Um, just a quick video here about black culture in the Bible, right? About what society deems black culture and African American culture and all of these things, but what the Bible has speaking about that topic. Basically, there's so many stigmas, so to speak, and cliches about blacks and black culture and even African American culture. The first one is we're not Africans. You know, we don't come from Leo Scipios Africanus, who actually colonized at the country of Africa. Matter of fact, we're not even from Africa. We're from the land of Israel. The so-called Negroes are West Indians and Haitians make up the southern kingdom of Judah, with the head tribe, the Judites, with the Lord, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, comes out of. His real name is Yahushai, comes out of, and those are the dark tribes. Now, there's also a northern kingdom that has dark tribes as well, but we're talking particularly, and some of those tribes are pulled into black culture. You know, the Dominicans, even though they speak Spanish, they're still dark-skinned people generally, and they're called black. Sometimes the Native Americans are really dark-skinned, sometimes Hispanics, and West Indians and Puerto Ricans and Cubans, and, you know, we all are a speckled bird. You know, basically a nation that has many different hues of brown, right? Black culture is perpetuated here in America, especially, but throughout the world in general, as this thing of beauty, but that's not what the Bible speaks of. So I'm gonna run through a couple pictures. The civil rights and the whole 60s and certain black culture music. Bob Marley, here's Ray Charles, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X, of course. I can't see enough of the figures of the other guys in the back to know. We got down here, we have slavery. We got American black rap music as part of black culture. You know, the whole gangster rap thing is part of black culture. You know, Black History Month, of course, jazz, you know, all these things. Women are even in this part of black culture, the Tuskegee experiments. Our women are highly perpetuated in this society. Look, women wearing dashikis, but with blonde hair. How crazy is that, right? The so-called black woman will wear a dashiki with blonde hair on her head, and that's part of black culture. You know, look, they got Beyonce and Rihanna. She got stark red hair. Look, African culture, we're not Africans, but that's part of black culture. Dancing is part of black culture, which is fine. Sports, the American flag is part of black culture. Slavery is a part of black culture. You know, let's see what else they got in here. Like I said, our women, the hairstyles, and you know, I've been noticing this whole black culture thing. You so-called Negroes and you blacks, as you're so-called, you don't understand nothing about yourself, man. You guys are so upset because these other nations of people are assuming your style. You let them in. Eminem wears do-rags and he can't get waves. You know, the Jenner girls or whatever, they get cornrows. You know, so on and so forth. Miley Cyrus is dominating. You know, with your twerking. Which the sad part about this, the things that you hold in high regard about about our culture, or what you deem black culture, are negative things that you learn from your slave masters, that you got from those said peoples. You know, like basketball is a part of black culture. Like hip hop and gangster rap is a part of baby hairs on women. You know, it's ridiculous, man. You know, here's chicks twerking right here. Yep, rap. What else we got? The Bible, I guess, on some level. Because our people, like it says in the book of Romans, the 10th chapter, we have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. So we'll go right into Egyptology. We'll go into every other avenue, you know, looking for the answers. And that's where none of that. Look, marching. Got a marching. The afro. It's funny how the afro, but then you got a sister with an afro, with a blonde afro, or a super light brown afro. I can tell that that's not her natural hair color, because if it was, look at her eyebrows. It's not her natural hair color. I've seen that style too many times before. Now that Velma, I'm not sure who that is. No, I thought that was from Good Times. But the Pam Grier over there. But that's our natural cultural hairstyle right there, that afro. That's what our cultural hairstyle should be about. Not that old fake stuff. Look at this gay looking shit. That's nasty. Come on, man. This is what it's come to. American gangster. Look, this is all I do with American black culture images, and this is what you get. You know? Now they got hair wraps and civil rights. All this stuff was good for our people. Slave counterpoint. Yeah, okay. It says black culture in the 18th century in Chesapeake. Chesapeake and Lower Country and Low Country. That was the book. Gold jewelry. They saying chains of slavery, and we love gold chains. No, we love gold and chains and bracelets and all of that because we have a kingly nature about us. Matter of fact, I'm out of order, but of what I was bringing out, but I'm gonna bring it anyway. I'm gonna bring that out anyway. In the book of Exodus, we'll start at Exodus 19. The book of Exodus 19th chapter. We're gonna start around I'm gonna go straight to the point. I'm gonna start up at verse 3. It says, "And Moses went up unto the Most High God, and the Lord Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say unto the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel." That's the so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, all 12 tribes. It says, "Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians." We're not the Egyptians, even though that's supposed to be in black culture. We're not the Egyptians. They were our enemies. They're a tribe of the Africans. They're the so-called Sudanese, as it be called today. Anyway, it says, "How I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed," and God, the Most High God, the Creator, it should be a part of our culture. That's what it should be. Starting with this book, the Holy Bible, should be a part of our culture. It says, "Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people." Racism right there. "Above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation." Separate. Holy means separate. But a kingdom, a rulership of people that are ruled by kings, by the men of priests. Meaning we handle this word, the word of God. Kings that handle the word of God. It said, "These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel." Right? That we're kings and priests in a separate holy nation. That's above all people. a peculiar treasure unto God. Right? Now let me go into to showing you, to telling you, reading the scriptures, what we actually are. To the book of Deuteronomy. We're going right into the curses. Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, because that's where this whole black culture thing starts. Okay? So this is Deuteronomy 28, and I'm going to go to, and I'm going to go to 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee. So we'll be a proverb and a byword among all the other nations. Wherever we at, we are still looked at as the lowest people on the planet. We're on the bottom. And then all these other nations that we're scattered amongst, they don't have anything positive to say about us. Oh, there goes those niggas. Oh, yeah, this nigga ain't no good. Now, let me go into the word nigga right quick. I'm going to go to the book of Acts, the 13th chapter, and show it to you. Acts 13:1, it says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Nigger or Niger, but it's Nigger is how it was pronounced back then, and which only meant dark-skinned, right? Meant dark-skinned. It says, and Lucius of Cyrene and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. But they were called, those dark-skinned men, it's just showing you that the prophets in the time of the book of Acts were dark-skinned also. But they called them nigger, man. And that perpetuated on. Now there's another word, nigard, and then now you with a Nigger or ARD in the book of let me grab it right quick. Wasn't on the list, but I'll grab it because that's what you begin to act like, and you were taught to act like that from your oppressor. Your oppressors who taught you to act like that. Let me go into it right quick. It's around here somewhere. Let me see where it's at. Should be right around here. Take a good look. Bear with me 1 second. Just like the 8th chapter. You see, 9th chapter, 10th chapter, 11. Yeah. Wait. Where did it go? As it says, riches are not comely to a niggard. Hold on a sec. The book of Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 31. I'm going to start at 23 to get the context a little bit. It says, whoso is liberal of his meat, men shall speak well of him, and the report of his good housekeeping will be believed. But against him that is a niggard of his meat, the whole city shall murmur, and the testimonies of his darkness shall not be doubted of. Now, the word niggard, right? It says a stingy or ungenerous person. That's part of what you became. That's part of black culture. Stingy and ungenerous. To one another, you hate each other. You'll bow down to your oppressor, but you hate each other. Okay, so let's go back into it. Look. Up here it says poverty. For real, poverty, fashion, African American history, black history. Let's go on to fashion. Let's see what that brings up. Let's see what we got. This bitch got on blackface right there. What the hell? A blackface outfit. Tripping. Tripping. Something that resembles African dance. All right, anyway, let's keep going. Hair wrap, which is a good thing. Not gonna bring up the fact that our women think that short hair, they want to cover it up. That's part of what the curse the Most High gave you. It's a shame unto you to have short hair. But, our people have flipped it into black culture. And weave is part of black culture. It's all fashion. It's black culture fashion right here. Right? Jake got style, man. Our people got style. Our people know how to dress. Our people know how to coordinate and put it together. But he's showing the same chick, man. I don't see her all damn day. Let me see. Let's go to poverty and see what happens. But poverty is a part of black culture. Look, Jay hungry over here. Look, marching. Marching is huge in black culture. Y'all still marching and ain't nothing happened yet. Still marching since the 60s and ain't nothing happened yet. Y'all marching for Black Lives Matter. Ain't nothing happened yet. They still shooting you niggas down in the streets. Black culture produces nothing. Oprah Winfrey is part of black culture. Malcolm X is part of black culture. He believed in a God that wasn't our God. He didn't believe in Yahweh. He believed in Allah, in the Islam way, right? Martin Luther King believed we should all be together. That's not the Bible said. I've already read that it said that we should be an holy nation unto me, unto the Lord thy power, Lord thy God. I saw something here earlier, and part of black culture was let me see if I just take it out and go to black culture. Like in Africa and Wakanda was part of black culture. Let's go to African American right quick. And they had straight Africa on here, and they had Wakanda, like African, Marcus Garvey. Marching, niggas getting Trayvon Martin, Renisha McBride, Tamir Rice, Mike Brown. Niggas that got shot as part of African American culture. Jazz, all the stuff that Jake do is part of African culture. Our biggest enemies in the Bible, when you read it in history, were the Africans. Our first enemies were the Africans. Long before this so-called white man became an enemy, we were dominating him back then. Right? Black Holocaust. Slave ships is part of our black culture. Anyway, a loudmouth black woman. That's all I Googled was loudmouth black woman. And that's a part of our culture. Look, rolling the neck and thinking crazy, man. That's a part of black culture. Unbelievable. Let me keep going back into these scriptures. So let me go into the book of Jeremiah right now. I'm gonna show you this black ass woman as I grab this, cause that's out of pocket, man. Our women being out of order is part of our culture, black culture. Now, because we didn't keep it unto the Most High God. So Jeremiah 17:4 says, "And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage." Like it said, we will become a proverb and a byword and an astonishment. Shall discontinue. So even thou, even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee as kings and priests. We're now discontinued from that. We just lowly niggas, man. Nigga are stingy, dark-skinned ass people, man, that don't know which way is up, that follow our oppressor like his word is the way, following after our women, like they got knowledge and wisdom. The scriptures tell you in the book of Job, the 39th chapter, that he did not impart wisdom and understanding unto the woman. So how can they lead a family? You go into 1 Corinthians the 7th chapter, it's like the 11th chapter, and it tells you the order, the totem pole. It goes the Most High God, the Lord Yahweh Shai, then the man, then the woman. That's the order of a family. That's how you get the guidance from the top. When you take the man out or switch up the order and put a woman before the man, it changes up the order. But the woman ruling in our families, that's part of black culture, man. Anyway, it says, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land whither thou knowest not, for ye shall have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. The Most High is so angry with us, he threw us all out of course as a people, to where we're not a people. You go into the book of Hosea, I'll go there right quick. Yep. Let me go to verse 9. Hosea 1 and 9, it says, Then said God, or the Most High, call his name Lo Ami, which this was a child, and this child was to represent how he was going to do our people. It was a child of whoredoms, from Hosea to take a wife of whoredom, and the children of whoredoms. Anyway, Laruhamah was that he wouldn't have that he would have no more mercy. He would no more have mercy upon us. And the other name was Lo Ami, which ye are not my people, is how it would break down. It says, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. So we've discontinued from our heritage. And when we discontinue, we got women like this. We got niggas all out of course that don't know how to rule, that don't know how to run a family. We in and out of jail. We drug addicts. We just all messed up and we gangsters, pants hanging off our ass. We have the prison system and residuals from that as part of our culture. It's out of control, man. Let me go into this. But this one that you're looking at here is a major factor in our culture. Isaiah chapter 3 verse 12, as for my people, children are their oppressors. And children means a more insignificant race of people. Talking about the so-called white man, Esau, according to the Bible. We follow after our oppressor. It says in the book of Proverbs, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Well, our women choose his ways and we choose his ways. We put on the suit and tie to be like him. Now to work, yeah, you work, you put on the suit and tie, you go to work and you do the best that you can do to keep that job to provide for yourself and your family. But to believe in his whole system wholeheartedly, man, that's not the way. But our women believe in the system. That's why she's the ones up in the church houses. That's why she's the ones in the colleges. That's why whatever this white man tell her or perpetuates out there in society, she makes sure your black ass stay in line with it. And it says, and women rule over them. And that proves it right there. And women rule over them. They make sure you stay your ass in line. It says, O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths and destroy the way back to the Most High God. Right? So let me go to Jeremiah. No. So remember that, destroy the ways of our past. Now I'm going to go to the book of Lamentation. Because the ways of here it go right here. The ways of our past have been destroyed. And this is what these same people look at when they see us. When this proverb and this byword. When they see us, they perpetuate black culture. The beauty that we dig up out of black culture and we make it look good, they'll steal it from you. That's why there's so many white people in hip hop. That's why there's so many white people in black music. Now, some of those are jakes. Don't get me wrong. Some of those really talented people, some of those people are jakes. They're just Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that don't have their look, that don't have their pigment. But their spirit still goes back to an Israelite, our own people, God's chosen people. But a lot of them, they're letting them in and they're perpetuating what? Why does hip hop music sound like heavy metal rock? Talking about drugs and demons and shit like that and being drugged out and adultery all through our people. That's what our music is about now. That's part of black culture now. But this is what the other nations is talking about. Lamentations chapter 2 verse 15, it says, all that pass by their hand clap their hand at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? That's what these people look at you. They look at the out of order our women are, smacking their lips and wagging their head. They look how dumb you gangster rap niggas look with your prison cleavage sag going on, skinny jeans, gold all in your mouth on purpose, nappy ass dreadlocks all over your head. That ain't part of black culture. They see that and they laughing at you, man. It said, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee, and hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have found it. We have seen it. We finally got these niggas away from their God, and we've destroyed them. When they look at you perpetuating black culture, they laugh at you. When they saw you coming in there dressing like you was from Zamunda, going to see the movie Black Panther, they was laughing at y'all. They laughed at you. When you didn't go see Birth of a Nation, but you flocked to the theaters to go watch a fictional character, superhero, Black Panther, even though it was a good movie, don't get me wrong, but you missed the historical events of a real actual hero in Earth, but you flocked to go see a fictional character, they laughed at you. They laughed at you. All these other people, the so-called white men, the Arabs, the East Indians, the Asians, the so-called white men, of course, Africans, all of these people laughed at you. They all laughed at you. The Polynesians, they laughed at you. All these countries and these people laughed at you when they see you way away from where you're supposed to be, because they know who you're supposed to be. They know we're really the children of God. And I'm going to close out with this last script in Jeremiah. Because there was a way that we're supposed to be, and we're so far from it. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 6, verse 16. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, stand ye in the old ways and see, and ask for the old path. Remember how I said in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, it destroyed the ways of our past? Ask for the old path. This book has the old path in it. It has the ancient way that we were when we were a royal kingly people, a kingdom of priests. During the time of King David, the time of King Solomon, it had that. And we're going to go back to that. And we're going to go back to that. It's going to be a lot of darkness and a lot of bad when that happens. A lot of negative times, but we're going to go back to that. It says, and ask for the old path, where is the good way, and walk therein. Ye shall find rest for your souls, but they said, we will not walk therein. Why? Because you're so busy walking in black culture. But black culture is going to get you killed, man. Period, point blank. Black culture is going to get you killed. The Most High ain't dealing with that. He will kill you. He's going to kill 2/3 of his own chosen people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, y'all not out of it. And Native Americans, y'all not out of it either. He's going to kill 2/3 of you because you won't seek the old paths, call upon his name and find him out. Because you don't care that you Hebrews. Oh, I know I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but I like African music and I like dressing like an African and thinking like Africans and whatever, so on and so forth. He's going to kill you people, man. I like black culture. I like hip hop. I like smoking weed. I like popping mollies. I like drinking Hennessy. I do like drinking Hennessy, but niggas make all of this part of black culture. I like my woman to have blonde hair. Crazy, man. Out of control. So I'm going to close out with that, giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, double honors to the elder apostles, that great millstone, and greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect. Shalom, man. Death to black culture, man. It ain't done nothing but hold us back. All this marching and black culture that our people from the 60s used to pick this stuff up and make it new and all of that, it ain't going to do nothing but further destroy us, man.